my name is Maddie, and if you are watching this, I
have had a baby.
That is right. I am currently pregnant. However, you're watching pre-recorded content, baby. I'm talking about Mountain Dew, baby. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about Mountain Dews, baby.
Okay, regardless, yes, if you are watching this, I am postpartum, freshly postpartum. So if you're watching this, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for being such good sports. I genuinely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You know, just as I take this time to recover, you know, ice my nips, whatever I gotta do. Regardless, you see the title, you know what this video is. I am reacting to parenting type TikToks. In this case, I really just watch like YouTube shorts. I don't actually watch a lot of TikTok, but I am reacting to parenting short form content as a naive, expecting first-time mother. We all have these lofty goals of like how we're gonna be whenever we are, you know, expecting, like, oh, I would never let my kids do that or whatever. And then you get humbled by parenthood. That's where I am currently. So we gonna see. We gonna find out. I did do this video once before. I will link it at the end. It's fine. I'm impressed by React people and how like eloquent they can be. Your girl is semi-eloquent. I could be better. But I will link that at the end. But in that video, I kind of talk a little bit about how I was raised and whatnot. And I'll talk about that some in this video, but I'm going to try not to repeat myself too much. I actually saved a lot of these from the last time around, so I kind of can't really remember what all I saved, but we shall see. Stay tuned. Also, real quick, nobody judge my dadgum hair. I literally washed it day before yesterday. I do not wash it every day, but I have been sweating all day in my house, despite the fact that our temperature is set to 70 degrees. I've been sweaty and hot. Okay, let's get into the reacting.
After 8 hours of solo parenting filled with tons of fun cuddles and poopy diapers, my first proper meal of the day at 6 p.m. has never looked so Wait, no. You gotta be kidding me.
Uh-oh.
Stop walking toward me. Don't point at me. Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, Mama.
I guess that's better than, let's go see what mom's doing. Oh, God. That just, let's go see what mom's doing. Leave me the hell alone. That's what I'm doing. I will say, unrelated, their baby, absolutely adorable. So cute.
I am severely overstimulated right now, and I really need to enjoy this dinner in silence. I love you guys, I really do, but...
Leave.
I'm on it. Let's go.
Okay, first of all, good on her for the communication. 10 out of 10. Clear, concise communication. Dad listened. We love that. Honestly, all around great. As someone with ADHD, I really do get overstimulated. It is not something I'm looking forward to in parenthood. It's going to be a problem. I'm going to just have to do my best. Funnily enough, I'm now remembering that I first saw this on Facebook and then found it again on YouTube. And the difference between the comments, because Facebook is like full of older boomers and like just general hatefulness. I'm sorry, I don't mean to generalize, but I swear to God, Facebook is like the platform for rage baiting. So is TikTok, which is partially why I don't particularly partake in the TikTok. However, the comments on Facebook were like, you don't think he's tired from working all day? You got to cuddle with a baby all day and he had to go out and work hard. Number one, if only it were that nice where you're just getting to cuddle with a baby all day and they're just like, yay, I'm just happy to be here. As if, you know, babies aren't very temperamental and have a lot of needs and whatnot. You're literally keeping this helpless thing alive. Number two, and this is just my personal opinion, really and truly, there will be people out there that will disagree with me. I have worked in childcare. I have worked regular jobs. I currently work a regular job. I 1000% think it is far more difficult to keep a tiny helpless infant alive than it is to work a regular job. I do. Regular jobs, you get breaks. You can go to the bathroom on your own. You get the car ride alone to like listen to nothing if that's what you want to do. Yeah, motherhood, the best break you get is a nap. And it's not even consistently that they nap, how long they nap for. You don't know how much time you have. So it does crack me up when people say that. But like the fact of the matter is, we live in a society where people don't appreciate the work that stay-at-home mothers do. Just because she's not bringing in an income does not mean her work is not labor, and it should be appreciated as such. I know that's not what this video was saying. In fact, the husband was super amazing and supportive and was like, okay, I'm a head out. My bad. I love that. But like so many people just don't appreciate it. And I've rambled already so long about this one thing, but I do have a story to tell that's like super random. So luckily this did not happen to me because this could never happen to me. I dated this guy and he had a sister who was a stay-at-home mom. So the sister was a stay-at-home mom. She was with a man who was very much of the mentality of like, yeah, I'm a man, I'll take care of the house, but at the same time, I should have to do zero else for our children because I'm providing a paycheck. I'm the one that pays the bills. I shouldn't have to provide anything. To the point that she had to like beg him to be able to take showers, to take time to herself, stuff like that. He didn't want to spend time with him on Father's Day. He wanted to go off and do things on his own. And like, you know, I'm not saying that all of that is necessarily wrong, but some of that is wrong. And we need to recognize that it's wrong. I should not have to beg you to watch your children while I take a shower. And we all told her that that was unacceptable and that, you know, she deserves a partner that's 50-50. And 50-50 is not just him working. He needs to be doing other things. So one day he comes home and she's miserable and she's exhausted. She's had a very hard day. They had 2 children. I want to say 4 and like 1.5, maybe. Not even 1. I don't think he was even 1. He was old enough to walk. He was 1. Jesus. And so he comes home from work and she's like, hey, listen, I desperately need a shower. I haven't showered in 2 days. I feel disgusting. Please, can you watch the kids? And to her shock, he said, yes, I will watch the kids. So she goes, okay. And she goes and takes a shower. And she was in there for like 15 minutes. Lord forbid. And she comes out and she gets out and she's wrapping herself in her towel. And she hears this sound. And she's like, it sounds like a train horn going off. Just a constant. She's like, what is that? And so, because they didn't live near train tracks. So she hurries and she walks out. And as she walks in toward the living room, she sees he's laying on the couch. The kids are nowhere to be found. And then she peers out the front window and her children are standing outside and there's somebody in their car, this person, she does not know this person, laying on the horn. So she rushes outside in her towel, bless her heart, and it's a woman who's driving and she says, I'm so sorry. I was just driving through the neighborhood and I saw these 2, like several stop signs back, walking along the sidewalk. And I just, you know, there was no adult with them. I was worried, yada, yada, yada. To the 4-year-old's credit, the lady who was driving said, I offered to take them home. She wouldn't get in the car with me, but I didn't want to leave them. So I just escorted them back home. And this is where they stayed. And then they're just hanging out in the front yard. I would like to say that that was the point in which she decided enough is enough. I'm leaving you. The man's excuse was, well, the 4-year-old must have let them out. She's 4. What the hell? And then, of course, was to blame, you know, my ex's sister. I told you I was tired after work. I told you. You're always trying to make me watch them when I'm tired, this and that. She did end up going to stay at her mom's for a few days. I would like to say that was the point in which she left him, but it was not. They are no longer together. However, I can't really talk about that too much because YouTube, but basically he was abusive. I don't know. That's all I can really say there. But regardless, it infuriates me. And I know I've been talking forever, but like the idea that stay-at-home moms don't even deserve the basic decency of being able to take a shower in peace, and obviously they do deserve that. That's not what I'm saying. But so many women live in a household where the men, literally the top YouTube comment was a moment of silence for the women where the husband just laughed, handed them the baby, and walked away. And that's reality for a lot of women, and it infuriates me. I'm mad on your behalf. It could not and would not be me. Absolutely not. Okay, so next up we have Shawna the Mom. I've reacted to her before. I love all of her content. I watch that stuff. It's like my show. But she used to do more one-off skits, and this is a one-off skit. And so yeah, we'll watch it.
Hey, I need help. Okay, yeah, what do you want me to do? Can you just feed her while I take a shower? Yeah, where are the bottles? They should be drying on the rack.
Oh, where are the bottles? Do you not live here, sir? Do you not? Okay, let me stop. Let me keep reacting.
I don't see any bottles drying. Shh, sorry. Okay, we should have clean ones in the cabinet above the dishwasher. Nope. Are you sure? Right there. Oh, I thought you meant that cabinet. The cabinet above the dishwasher. Cool.
I feel like I'm still fired up from the last react, so I feel like I might be being a little bit unfair here, but like my brother in Christ, you have eyeballs. They're somewhere in this house. It's not like a fairy came and threw out all the bottles. You can find a damn bottle while you tend to the baby. Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Cool. How many ounces? Are you kidding me? Well, I know it's 5, but I don't know. Does she need more? No, she needs 5. Okay, you can just say, come here, baby. I'm in a shower. Don't forget to sit her up. I got it. You need to sit her up more.
Okay. I'm terrible. I'm awful. Does this man never feed his child? You don't know where the bottles are. You can't be bothered to look. You don't necessarily know how many ounces. I mean, he said he knew, but like, why are you double checking then? And then you don't know to like sit her up. Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
What do you mean? You need to sit her up when you're feeding her. If she's lying back, it makes her reflux worse and then she'll throw up. She can't sit up yet. I know, so you have to sit her up. Sit down in a chair, put her bottom on your knee, support her back and her neck so she's seated. I don't have enough hands for that. John, I do it all day, every day. You know what? Never mind. I'm trying to help.
Oh, okay. Okay. I promise not all of these reacts will be me hating on men. I promise. Yeah, your girl, I'm triggered. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, okay. I talked about this a little in last video, I think, that I do think I'm going to be more aware of what our baby needs than Henry. I'm going to know the logistics of how to do more purely because I have worked in childcare. I've watched children. Now, I will say I am terrified of the newborn stage. They are so little. Okay, but it's okay. I am nervous, and so I do trust that Henry will ask for help when he needs it, and I don't mind helping. But I also trust that Henry will not do the whole weaponized incompetence of where are the bottles? How many ounces? I don't know how to feed her. I can't do that. I feel like one of those questions is okay. All of them together are not okay. There's no problem with like, hey, I'm better equipped for this than you are, this particular task. So let me like help, educate you on how. But like, yeah, the weaponized incompetence for me is not, it's not it. It's not the vibe. Okay, as promised, I do see which one this one is, and this is less about hating on men. I promise this is not a man-hating video. I've talked about this before, and people who regularly watch me know that Henry is wonderful, and I'm not hating on my husband, but I am angry on behalf of other women who have to put up with this.
I'm a millennial dad. No, my son cannot spend the night over your house. And you can't spend the night over here either. Tell your mother I will drop you off when playtime is over. Or until one of y'all start crying.
Yeah, so I am currently in the camp that I also will not be letting my kids do sleepovers, which means I will not be hosting sleepovers either. I may change my mind on this. This is not a rigid rule I have set, but you just don't know what goes on at other people's houses. Now, family members, that is different. I will say Henry's, obviously, like, my baby can go spend the night at grandma's house. Henry's family lives further away, but I don't know, maybe around the holidays, maybe baby will want to go spend the night at somebody's house. That's different. But in terms of friends, unless I'm just really good friends with the parents, which I just don't think will be the case, but who knows, I just don't plan on doing sleepovers. You just don't know. There's a lot of statistics and things that things can happen at sleepovers. Even if you know and trust, you know, the parents, you don't know who else can come over there whenever your kid is there. And you just never know what could happen. It's just different times, and it does really suck because I have some great memories of sleeping at my friend's house. I really do. I would like stay with my friends for like weeks at a time, which is not great in hindsight, but that's okay. But I loved it. I had this one friend growing up for a couple years where literally every time I went to sleep over at her house, we would listen to Shania Twain, we'd paint our nails, and then we'd watch Peter Pan. For some reason, every time, that's what we did. I think we played outside until it got dark, and then we did all those things in that order. And it was good times, good memories every single time. But we just live in different times. And as of now, I don't think I'm going to do that. Anyway, I didn't mean to talk so long. There's still more to this video.
I'm a millennial dad. Of course I don't drop my son off at grandma's house for months on end. It's 2 to 3 days max. I remember how it felt when I was stuck at my grandmother's house all summer. All this? Oh.
Okay. This one hits really bad. Now, in the last video, I did talk about how, like, I spent summers at an aunt's house. I lived with my grandma in 7th grade. I lived with a different aunt in 8th grade. I just mentioned I spent weeks at a friend's house. So not all of like my like jabs about how I grew up are necessarily related to my mother and her husband at the time. But this one is, I'm gonna be real as the streets. I would spend summers at my aunt's house. I had an aunt. She lived out in the sticks of North Mississippi. And I'm not going to lie and say that I didn't have a good time or anything like that. But I kid you not, my mother would pick me up early from school the last day, bring me there, and I would be there sometimes until the day before school started. Now, this happened for sure between like 2nd and 5th grade, and then our living situation kind of changed. And you might be like, well, Maddie, obviously your mother worked, and she did. She worked, and so you couldn't be home alone all day, every day. That's true. However, that was a different time. And so my mom never had like a Monday through Friday type of job. She always had jobs working odd hours and things like that. And so it was not uncommon where on extended holidays, on the weekends, we were home alone. And it was just one of those things where we just knew, for the people that know, my fellow millennials and older people, you didn't answer the door. You didn't answer the phone unless you recognized mom's number, her work number, or you were at a friend's house. I was home alone when I was much too young to be home alone necessarily. But, I was living that Matilda life. But I was definitely older than Matilda was, to be fair. So, I don't know. I know on some level, in hindsight, it was she needed help with working, but the fact of the matter is, I was not in town where I could come home anytime. My aunt's house was about 7 hours away from my hometown where we all lived. And it was infuriating. Like, I did genuinely enjoy being at my aunt's house. Actually, I would love to ask my sister how she felt about that at the time. Because my aunt, like, had a bunch of woods, and I would play outside and had a grand old time. My sister, on the other hand, was more girly. She wanted to stay indoors and stuff like that. And there wasn't a ton to do because you're in the middle of nowhere. You're in the sticks. But yeah, I do feel like bitter feelings about that now, that my mother shipped me off for entire summers. And I really, that whole saga of life is like a layered lasagna, or an onion, as Shrek would say. And I I definitely will not be doing that either. Maybe a week at grandma's house or something, maybe, or an extended weekend, but I will not. I'm with this guy. I will not be doing that. Okay, I can already see this one is much shorter, so hopefully we won't be ranting.
The milk and the cereal.
Stop him! Ah!
Good job, Warren.
Oh, I'd be dead. Why are you telling him good job? I guess I remind myself that this is like filming, and half the time this is like staged for like, I don't know that this is rage bait, but like this is kind of staged or whatever, but like, not saying I would like yell at my kid, although depending on the day, I'm not perfect. I might be like, what the hell? But like, I would not be like, good job. Having said that, I do think that was staged. That's a lot of milk in that protein shaker to go in that bowl of cereal. Like, what is happening? Good job would not be the words I would use. Okay, but let's actually watch the rest.
Oh.
Okay, I can't play the rest. Even those few seconds, YouTube will catch on that that is a copywritten song. But yes, that is 1000% my childhood. Not too bad. Not the worst. I've definitely seen people on extremes where like they're just basically getting a spanking just for sneezing wrong or breathing wrong or looking wrong. And that was not my experience, I will say. I remember one time I was taking a shower and I forgot to pull the shower curtain in, and some adult figure came in. This sounds appropriate if I say it like that, but I also don't want to out the person that did this. Came in, and of course water was going on the floor, and they ripped the shower curtain open and spanked me. Sorry, God, that sounds weird to say as an adult. Okay, whatever. Either way, I got in trouble for doing that. And I was really upset because I forgot. I didn't do it on purpose. It's not like I was like, yeah, screw the floor. It happens. We all make mistakes. Adult Maddie is clumsy and dumps things and makes mistakes too. It's fine. Probably the best parenting advice I've heard, and I'm really going to show my millennial here, and if I can find the clip, I'll put the clip in, but was from this BuzzFeed series called Wine Mom. And it was this chick named Hannah, and she would talk about like mom things while she had wine on the couch. Honestly, a vibe. But the best advice I heard from her, and like I said, I'll just put the clip in if need be.
Whenever I'm about to punish my children, I have to make the decision, are they misbehaving or are they just acting their age? My oldest son is 4. He likes to do stuff himself. He likes to get his own glasses of water. That's his new thing. But he always fills his water cup up to the very top of the brim, and then he spills it everywhere. So there are just puddles of water all over the house whenever he tries to get his own water. But I'm not gonna punish him for that because he's 4 and that's normal. On the other hand, if he thinks I'm not looking, he'll give his younger brother a big shove, and he will get in trouble for that because spilling water, just being a kid. Pushing your brother, just being a jerk.
But if they're just acting their age and they're doing things that are developmentally appropriate for their age, can that be annoying? Absolutely. Is it annoying to have to clean up a bunch of milk? Absolutely. But you should not be punishing your child for that. You shouldn't be spanking them. You shouldn't be reacting physically out of anger. You should correct as best you can, try to prevent that from happening in the future, and understand that that is a developmentally appropriate thing for them to be doing. Now, if they're acting like a jerk and they're terrorizing the cat or their sibling or something, you got to put a stop to that. You need to let them know, hey, I see that and that is not appropriate. I really hope to achieve that happy balance when I'm a parent. It's hard. It is not easy. We are human. Parents are human. We're all human. But I definitely did not get that growing up from any of the adults in my life. I'm not saying never, but I definitely have memories of doing stupid things because I was a kid with a not fully developed brain, and and then getting in trouble for it, whereas I really could have used an explanation and some guidance. All right, and the very last video, super excited. This is Mama Cusses. I actually really wanted to include her in the last one, but I had it was already like a long enough video, but it's all good. We are here for her. So let us watch.
Oh, my little snow angels, you've had so much fun, but that was the timer. It's time to come back inside. It's so cold. Yeah, let's go have some hot cocoa and get all warm and fuzzy in our towels. Let's go inside.
So this is what Facebook thinks that gentle parenting is, and this is why people are like, the next generation is going to be so soft. They're not going to be able to do anything. Da, 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 da. Mind you, literally, I once mentioned that to Henry. I don't remember why, but we were just talking about that. And he was like, babe, you know, they've been saying that since, like, Socrates literally complained that the next generation is going to be so soft. They have been saying this for so many generations and since the dawn of time, that the next generation is going to be so soft. But, you know, Lord forbid we treat people with empathy, especially little people. Okay, I'm going to keep watching.
Okay, 5 more minutes. Probably fine. Hey, frozen fledglings, inside. It's not up for negotiation. Yeah, you've been out here for 30 minutes. It's fun and freezing. Come on, we gotta get warmed up. We'll get some hot cocoa. No more 5 minutes. I gave you a 5-minute countdown. You heard the timer go off.
I will say I have heard that you have to do something other than timers when it comes to toddlers. I don't know how old the fictional children she's rearing are in this video. I do know at the time that they were toddler. She has twins that were toddler age. Apparently toddlers don't really have a concept of time, which that makes sense with everything I know about toddlers. And so you apparently have to find things other than timers, but that can be difficult, you know. But I've heard a lot of tips. I've heard, okay, throw 3 more snowballs and then we have to go inside, or making it a fun game. Okay, I'm gonna set a line right here and you two race to see who gets in first and we'll have cocoa. Or enticing them to be like, oh my God, but when you get inside, we're gonna have cocoa and that's gonna be awesome. And yeah, sometimes that doesn't work and you just kind of have to just, unfortunately, you know, basically carry a crying, screaming child by their ankle from the park, but it just is what it is. Okay, let's watch the rest.
It is time to go inside. Come on. Nope, we're not gonna have further discussion about this. You can be upset inside. Okay.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, sorry. I love that. You can be upset inside. Mwah. That's great. You know, again, I can't help but think about how I grew up, and like, I feel like I wasn't even allowed to have a bad day depending on who I was around. I definitely, when I did have a bad day, depending on who I was around, I would get the like, what the hell is wrong with you type of thing. If you're not a grown adult, and even grown adults, because I feel like I've talked about that at length. Like, if you're in a bad mood, if you're having a hard time, like, you're invalidated, that starts from childhood too. So even a simple, you can be upset. I'm giving you permission to be upset. You want to be outside, and I'm telling you, you got to come in because it's Arctic temperatures outside, and that's really hard, and I get that. You can be upset inside. That is something I really want to do as a parent, is like, if my kid's having a hard time, having a bad day, letting them have a bad day without taking it personally. That, there's going to be a lot of times where that will not come naturally to me, and that will not be easy for me, and it's going to be hard not to take it personally. I'm just going to have to do my best. That's really all we can do, and course correct where I can. But yeah, it's something I definitely want to. It's funny I'm saying I want to work on it when, like, I don't even have a child yet. He's hanging out in here. But definitely something I want to do. Okay, well, that is it for the reaction. I feel like this was rantier than last time, and I'm sorry about that. But I don't know. I just had a lot of feelings. I have a lot of prepartum. Is prepartum a word? I have a lot of prepartum rage, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let me stop. But I don't know. Those were just more things that I wanted to react to. I see lots of content all the time and I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm here to share them with you, I guess. But if you like that video, or you like want me to do more reacting to, even, it doesn't even have to be parenting things, let me know. Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts, how you grew up, and how you are trying to be a better parent than maybe your parents were. We all like to bash our parents. A lot of the time they were doing their best, and sometimes their best wasn't great. And sometimes their best was pretty good. I don't know, but it is what it is. One day I'm sure my son will complain that he didn't like that I did X and Y, and he'll try to course correct and do better, and that's just the way it goes. Okay. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, because the YouTube wizards, they love that stuff for the growth of my channel. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.